It's the biggest disaster in the history of the sport.
Let's talk about something that has shaped the way every NFL franchise thinks about contracts. And it all starts and ends with one quarterback.
Deshaun Watson officially traded from the Houston Texans to the Cleveland Browns.
The Cleveland Browns put off one of the riskiest moves in NFL history back in 2022. They offered Deshaun Watson, a player mired in both potential and controversy, a fully guaranteed 5-year, $230 million contract.
Into money, we're into money.
That wasn't just unusual, it was unprecedented. In a league where no contract is truly secure, this level of guaranteed money had always been more of an NBA or MLB thing, not the NFL. What the Browns did wasn't just about signing a player. It was making a bet on a new way of doing business, and the entire league held its breath. But in 2024, that bet looks more and more like a cautionary tale of why we'll never see another guaranteed contract like Watson's ever again.
Deshaun Watson has officially said, I want out of town.
Okay, so let's imagine this. A 26-year-old top 5 NFL quarterback is on the market, but with baggage that includes a cascade of serious accusations. Watson's on-field record had been impressive in Houston. He led the league in passing yards in 2020, posting some of the best stats among NFL quarterbacks. But off the field, it was no secret he was embroiled in allegations of sexual misconduct from over 20 women, and counting, with accusations ranging from harassment to assault, putting his character and future in question.
Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson has settled all but 4 of the lawsuits filed against him. Attorney Tony Busby said in a statement on Tuesday.
Despite the intense public scrutiny, a group of quarterback-needy teams saw in Watson the chance to change their fortunes and were willing to risk it all. The Falcons, Saints, and Panthers lined up to offer him a fresh start, a place where he could rebuild his career and legacy. And in this competition, something shifted. Cleveland saw its opportunity and pushed further than any team ever had. See, the Browns' bold move wasn't entirely unprecedented, but the stakes made it seismic. Desperate to finally secure a franchise quarterback, Cleveland's ownership went where no other team had gone.
Michael, what's the old line? Follow the money? $230 million in fully guaranteed money, 80 more than the richest guarantee ever given to any other NFL player in NFL history. After he sat out a year, after he still faces the 22 civil lawsuits, the Cleveland Browns are willing to guarantee Deshaun Watson $230 million.
For comparison, most NFL contracts have large guaranteed amounts but come with clauses that protect the team if things go sideways. But with Watson's deal, yeah, the Browns threw all that out the window. This was an all-in moment. A declaration that the Browns would secure a potentially elite quarterback, allegations and all, and that no expense was too high. From a financial standpoint, breaking news, Cleveland's front office was taking a monumental risk. It wasn't just the money, it was the binding nature of the contract. Fully guaranteed meant Watson's payout was assured, no matter what happened. In one fell swoop, the Browns had changed the landscape of NFL contracts, with Watson's deal setting a precedent that players might aspire to, but that teams, given his situation, would likely fear.
Speaking of quarterbacks, the Browns made waves with their guaranteed contract of Deshaun Watson. What was your immediate reaction when that news broke?
Well, you know what? I'm always about this. Every club has to do what they have to do with contracts, with drafting. You know, I got enough problems dealing with this club that, you know what, I can't, I don't worry about what other people do. But, our owner, did say that, that contract did create some problems. What we have to figure out, is that going to be the norm or is that an outlier? And we don't know.
This contract made headlines, yes, but it also put every other NFL owner on edge. The Browns were gambling not only on Watson's talent, but on his character and their ability to ride out the storm, hoping that his on-field performance would make everyone forget the rest. Spoiler alert, it didn't.
Deshaun Watson is awful. It's so awful that if somebody wanted to arrest him for being awful, I would accept it. It's that bad.
I don't mean to laugh.
I don't mean to laugh either. It's funny, but it's wrong.
When Watson finally took the field for Cleveland, the results were mixed at best. After an 11-game suspension in 2022, his performance was a shadow of his former self. He seemed rusty, off balance, a stark contrast to the quarterback the Browns had gambled everything to secure. Cleveland hoped the rust would wear off, but as 2023 rolled around, injuries derailed the season, putting the Browns in a tight spot.
I'm doing this completely on my own, but Kmart just turned to me. We're 100% sure that's their accredited account.
Cleveland Browns tweeted out that Deshaun Watson will undergo season-ending surgery on a broken bone in his throwing shoulder. So the same so the shoulder that had been bothering him earlier in the season, now he is done for the year.
That is 100% their verified account.
Enter Joe Flacco.
What brought you out and brought you here to Cleveland?
Well, listen, I got a call from my agent, and they asked to come work out, and I said, all right, I'm going to come work out. And they said, all right, this is what we're going to do. And I just kind of nodded my head along the whole way, and next thing you know, I'm here.
Flacco, an experienced quarterback, was pulled in as a last resort when Watson's shoulder injury worsened, and the results were unexpectedly solid. In a season where the Browns' offense had struggled, Flacco brought a sense of stability. His experience and field vision helped Cleveland's offense find some rhythm, and suddenly, there was hope.
3, 2, 1, that's it! The Browns are going to the playoffs! The postseason is back in Cleveland!
The Browns rallied, making it to the playoffs as a wild-card team behind one of the league's best defenses and Flacco's steady play. Fans found themselves questioning what they'd been given in Watson, as Flacco's revival seemed to highlight just how far Watson's play had fallen. But guess what? Watson's fully guaranteed contract loomed large over any decision the Browns could make. Cleveland couldn't just ignore the $230 million question. Even with Flacco's surprising success, it was clear that Watson, with that contract, would be back in the driver's seat as soon as possible. The Browns had no choice. They were financially tethered to Watson. Every other team in the NFL was watching, realizing that Cleveland's situation was a glaring example of how a fully guaranteed deal could effectively paralyze a franchise's flexibility. Now, let's talk numbers, because the financial math of this deal is next level. By 2025, Watson's cap hit is set to balloon to $73 million per year. That's a significant chunk of the team's budget. And due to restructures designed to create some immediate cap relief, the Browns are practically handcuffed to Watson. So why don't they just cut him? Well, cutting him would be a financial disaster, leading to dead money charges that would leave Cleveland in cap purgatory. In the NFL, where every dollar counts, Watson's deal is an anchor the Browns can't easily lift. Even if Cleveland wanted to offload him, the contract structure doesn't make that easy. With a no-trade clause, Watson would have to agree to leave. And even if he did, the Browns would likely have to find a trade partner willing to inherit one of the biggest guarantee deals in the league, with a quarterback whose recent performance and injury has been a fraction of what it once was. So, the contract remains immovable, a reminder to the NFL decision makers about the dangers of betting on certainty in a league where none exist.
It's absolutely baffling to me. This guy was a top 5 player, and I get it, several years ago. But the last time we saw Deshaun Watson last year, he was 18 of 18, closing out a game against the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, I'm seeing a guy that has zero confidence.
Yes.
I don't understand it. Remember, this is the one that Dabo Swinney said that, hey, if you don't take him, you're passing on Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Don't forget that's how good this player was at one time.
Right.
What the hell has happened?
So, here's the ripple effect. Watson's fully guaranteed contract was initially seen as a breakthrough for players, especially quarterbacks, who wanted more job security in a physically punishing league. But after Watson, no other player has been able to leverage a similar deal. Lamar Jackson pushed hard for a fully guaranteed contract in 2023, only to settle for a more traditional structure. It was Watson's deal that helped make Jackson's demands possible, but it was also Watson's performance that ultimately shut them down. It's the perfect paradox. Watson's contract may have moved the needle in terms of what's possible in NFL contracts, but his struggles in Cleveland, well, have created a counterforce just as powerful. No NFL owner wants to end up in Cleveland's position, locking themselves into a player who can't deliver on the investment. In a way, Watson's contract is a legacy, not because it changed the game, but because it might have closed the door that looked open for a moment. The NFL is a league of hard choices, where financial constraints force teams to think years ahead. And what the league's owners have learned from Watson is this: Full guarantees can be an asset when things go well, but they're an immovable liability when they don't. And as far as the other NFL franchises are concerned, Watson's contract has shown why taking the leap of faith may never be worth it. So, unfortunately, this will never happen again. Not because NFL players don't deserve financial security, trust me, they do, but because the stakes have now been laid out, and Watson's tenure in Cleveland will be forever marked as the deal that showed the league why. In the harsh realities of professional football, fully guaranteed contracts just won't happen.